Hi and good morning. Welcome back to Mike Makes It. We're looking at a Homelite ST385 brush cutter. I've had it a good few years. It's worked really well. What I like about it, we've actually got what they call a brush cutting attachment on it, three-prong blade, and it's very handy for in the garden where we've got a lot of brambles. It really chops through it well. The line feed ones with the nylon string doesn't work quite so well. Certainly you can hit a few rocks with that and it still keeps going. And it's done very well. It really has got to be 20 years old. Now, to be fair, I have changed the engine in it once with a second-hand one a couple of years ago because I blew that up. And yeah, that one a nice condition for the old engine. But luckily I managed to get an old one, or second-hand engine online. And I fitted that and it's been all right for a couple of years. But just last week, we were up there, cutting the brambles down, working fine. We're running it flat out. Ran for about a quarter of an hour, not a problem at all. Then all of a sudden, just died on me. Very similar to the way it died before. So I'm wondering if we have got a problem with the, well, it has got a problem with the engine, but it'd be interesting to see if it's the same problem as last time. Now, I have took the plug out and done a compression test, and I'll go and do that now, and I'll show you the results. And I've got a couple of other facts for you on this one, so we'll set up a compression test. Or I've got the pressure gauge, if you want to call it that, in there. Basically, whatever pressure you put into this device from your spark plug hole, as you turn the engine over, it'll be recorded on here. It's a one-way valve, so once the pressure's in there, it can't get out. So you don't have to look at it when you're actually cranking the engine over, so to speak. So we give it about 6 cranks and we can go and have a look what we got. At the moment, 0. And now we're reading 60 psi. Now, last time the engine blew through low compression, it was on 80. And that still wouldn't run. These engines, the two-stroke engines, in my experience, need about 120 plus psi to actually keep running. So I've got half of that. I've got 60. So somewhere or other is either blown the gasket in it, piston's got a hole in it, the ring on the piston's gone. But basically, I think that what we're going to do today is dismantle it, a little bit of an autopsy, what's going on. Not with a view to fix it, unfortunately, because most of the parts are unavailable for it now. I tried with the last engine when it blew. That's why I effectively bought a second-hand engine and put in it. So we'll dismantle it, see what we got, see if we can see anything obvious going on. Right, I'll just take a few panels off here. They're Torx screws, 25 Torx. One... I think this one actually brings you into the crankcase. Let's have a look. Let's get it all to bits. I've drained the fuel off, although there is a little bit of fuel still in there. I don't think we'll have any fires though. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Turn that around a little bit. There you've got the push rod and the end of the crank there. So we could have blown a seal here. But we'll continue with the dismantling. Just looking at the gasket there. Got a feeling that was a second-hand one I fitted. I'll make sure there's no holes in that. Looks okay. But you never know. Yeah, you're definitely not getting much compression on over the spark plug hole. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on, dismantle it, just see what we have got. So bear with me. Here we go. Right, as you saw, we've pretty much ready to take the head off here now. I can't see any other issues going on. It's possible it was blowing around there, but I'm still going for the piston. So, or associated components. Right, what happened last time, the needle roller bearing blew up on it, and that's one of the needles out of the roller bearing, and that got stuck up the side of the piston. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here, but we'll have a look. We're just going to pull that out now. I want to see if there's any needles missing apart from that one in the bearing. I don't know the makeup of this bearing. I don't know if we can get it to focus. But you can see there's a set of needle rollers running around in there. Hopefully you can. But they're not all there. So I'm wondering if that's what's happened. Needle roller up the side of the piston. Let's see if we can pop the piston out here. Let's clear the desk for any debris. Well, I think that's the only way out. Is the way I'm trying, and it's not coming out. Well, there go all the needle rollers. I'm going to need a new bearing anyhow, if it goes back together, but I think we're going to find the pistons scored, or certainly the cylinder wall. So much red gasket. There we go. Yeah. Exactly the same thing I think's happened again. If you look at the piston, see there's a mark there. Hopefully you can. Round there appears okay. But there, let me go around the other side of the camera. See that mark? That's where a needle roller, a needle out of the roller bearing got stuck. And that's held in the piston ring, so got no compression. So that's not so good. I'll show you a little bit. We'll get a bit closer on the bench in a minute with that. Just want to see if the bore is actually damaged. I can see one mark, some damage going on in there. You see just below my thumb. See if we can get a little bit closer and stay in focus. Some metallic markings. Obviously, the needle has got up the side of that. The main bore isn't too bad. There's some damage just on the inlet port. I'm afraid I can't point with a screwdriver because I were holding the head itself. But we get it on the bench and I can point out a few extra things. But yeah, basically, it looks as if the needle roller bearings exploded and gone up behind the piston. Not a good day for Mike. Right, to the bench. A little bit close up of the piston. You can see the piston ring running round here. That'll keep basically the compression at the top of the piston to do the pushing down action when the fuel ignites. Without the piston ring being there, all the exploding gases will escape down the side of the piston and you won't get a stroke from it. And that's effectively why we're only getting £50 a square inch. This piston ring, there is a gap there. Obviously piston ring's got to end somewhere. Turn this round. We've had a needle stick in there and that's pushed the piston ring right in and it's staying there. It's not coming out. So you're almost running this without a piston ring at all. And also if you turn this round here, see all those score marks? Well, they're not put in at the factory. That's what happens when a needle roller bearing explodes and the piston's going 100 miles an hour. So, yeah. Although you might be able to recover from this because we could clean this material off there. repair the damage there, and if the piston ring pops out okay, we might be able to reuse that. I do have the second-hand engine that that blew up, and it's possible the piston's in better condition there, but it's gone exactly the same. Let's have a look if we see anything in here. If I can point out what I was talking about earlier. Not really getting the light down there for the best view on the camera, but you've got some damage there. Again, that's where the ring, the bearing would have exploded and the needles would have got stuck. I'm just seeing if there's any more damage. You got some scoring going on there. It's not really focusing, I'm afraid. There's a score mark there. Probably get away with that. I'll see if there's any more damage. Because obviously, if this is gone, then it's good night engine. That does look to be the worst damage, the score there. But the piston will come down below that because you've got the inlet port here. So we would potentially lose some compression down the side. So I think pretty much the engine's toast. If I got a few spare minutes, I might try to get a needle roller bearing, and put that back together and see what compression we get. So that might be a future video. But basically that's what's happened there. Little old needle roller bearings exploded. Thrown all this needles out. Just trying to get a few of the needles out now, but they, I think all the loose ones have decided they are coming out, and they have. Let's try to get that in shot for you. Yeah, you can see, what I'm talking about there. I hope you can. You see there's little wires. They're not wires, they're called needles. And basically that bearing should be full of them. But when I took it out, at least one was missing. And that's what's gone up the side of the piston. There you go, that's a little bit better shot. And there's nothing on that side at all. So yeah, that bearing's exploded, a needle's gone up the side of the piston, killed the engine. So unfortunately, this is pretty much scrap. But if I could get a bearing just for devilment, I might put that back in, put it back together, and see if we can get something like 120 psi out of it. But for this video, it's over. The engine's over. Engine might be going to the scrap man. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Hope you found that a little bit interesting. I have. Yeah, thumbs up would be great. Why not subscribe? Thanks for watching.